Hello, Gunner James 105. So Canadian civil defense. So civil defense officially in Canada came about because of the Cold War. It came about because of the fear of an attack of a nuclear, atomic bomb, hydrogen bomb that could happen, and so we wanted to be ready in case, just in case, at a town or city level, provincial level, and federal level. So it was quite a huge and organized affair that started, as I said, in 1947 and went on to about 1968. And this involved radar stations, radar towers. There was a lot of expense, a lot of preparedness for our military to defend our country. And as civilians, then we had also programs, and we did drills, and we practiced, and we prepared, and we had volunteers, and we had, so quite organized actually. I think we were one of the earlier countries to really get involved in this. And so there was a lot of education needed to happen. There was a lot of organization. We had bomb shelters. Matter of fact, not far from where I live, 10-minute drive, there used to be a very large underground bunker. And so you had your plans, you had your target cities, which were the larger centers with the bigger populations or industrial complexes that they would make them a target city. And so they would have to prepare to evacuate. You couldn't think of surviving that kind of an attack. You had to get out of the area. And I think when this came to cease in about 1968 was about the time that it was realized that the intercontinental ballistic missiles, instead of bombers would give you an hour or so time, or more maybe, 2 hours to evacuate an area, but the missiles, you're pretty much done for. There's no way of really escaping it. But up until then, we had people who volunteered, and they were like firefighters, police, medical personnel. They would assist the regular force that you had. You had your regular fire department, but you had the auxiliary fire department. So your city or provincial level, you had your ambulance people and your rescue people, and you had and so that helmet there, this is the earlier style decal. That's an actual World War II helmet that was converted with this black paint, basically. Otherwise, everything else underneath is all the same, and a decal. And they had different bars and triangles for different rank of different divisions. This one in black as well. There was different colors. You had black was for rescue and engineering, and you'd have your white helmets would be for wardens, and you had red, that was your auxiliary fire service, and blue for the auxiliary police, and you had for your headquarters and welfare department. And you can see the armband there labeled welfare, maybe not so good at this angle, but they would have the more khaki color, the original color of that helmet. I don't know if I mentioned the green was like ambulance and medical, but I've decided to grab a few things, and I have, so on the table there's the first aid kit, which is my main focus of this video. I want to open that up and show you what's inside. So if you were wanting to investigate, because there's videos and there's so much information. At the time there were pamphlets, there were, all kinds of things that are related to this subject, that if you went, there is actually such a thing as the Canadian Civil Defense Museum and Archives. So you could visit that website and learn even more. But I wanted to show you what I've got in my collection and go from there. And so I'm going to stop at this point, get this camera off the tripod, and continue on. So as part of the theme, I guess, and previous to getting this first aid kit, I had picked up a stretcher. And then I had picked up another one, and they were actually You know, they're old, but they're in perfect working order. The condition is excellent. And what we're talking about here is probably, it's right in the neighborhood of 20 bucks each, but I got to show you the bottom of this one. This other one might be a year or two newer, but this one here, I've opened it up so that I can show you that. So this is definitely military purposed with the C-Broad arrow, and 1952, so during the Korean War. So just a nice thing as far as the collection goes. Always wanted one of those. I don't know why. It's the same as the hand crank siren I have downstairs. Always wanted a siren. So we'll go over, and I'm going to put this camera on the tripod again so that I can start laying out this first aid kit. And so, just to give you a little bit closer look at the emblem on there. So, Civil Defense Canada, as opposed to the older style. So this first aid kit, labeled as such, don't know yet what this is for. I hang something off of there, but that's the one thing I'm not sure about. And it's got the little drain holes on the pouches, or on the side and on the bottom, and then your typical military style straps. This is a lighter, quite a light canvas material, and there's the back, so you can adjust the length of those. This would hang over your shoulder, and then you would be able to carry that. So if I were to give you some access here to the inside, and perhaps what I might do before I get to that point is that on the side here I have this, which again, you'd have health or welfare or whatever other unit that is taking charge here, and they would have this armband. So these are various marked. I believe they were kind of a headphone band initially, and then they were converted into this for this purpose, for this use. So they redid these headbands, and so they've got. This one here has actually got 1944 with a broad arrow on there. So you get four of those that come just in that side pouch, is the way it came to me. And then there's the 12, I believe it is, 2, 4, 5, 6, 10. So there's your dozen safety pins on a card. And then this pouch here contains really nothing except for the list of items, or catalog of items that is supposed to be in here, except there is an extra piece right at the top of this bag, and I'm going to get to that right now. So this, according to the site that I got this at, didn't show this in the photograph, but it showed up in this bag as a bonus. So, and it's like I say, it's not even on that list. So this, of course, would be very important, because if you're, and you can see it's old with the yellowing from these, this is just very soft wire, so you can bend that very easily. And these tags, so you've got this batch number or part number, a pad of 20, just stapled on the ends there, and it's fairly heavy cardboard. So you've got, on the one side of the tag, we're dealing with identifying injuries, and in a minute I'll show you how that, there's another part of this inside that bag. But if you're wanting to get a close-up look of what all is being recorded on these tags, and so this would be helpful in identifying someone, and also recording what sort of treatment was given. So you can keep track of things with these. And so again, this started out as definitely a Department of National Defense. So it was a military program that went into the civilian volunteer world not long after 47 when it was started. So we've got that. And then there is a quantity of 15 of these wound bandages. And they're all like new. Now, I believe I forgot to show you this. This here. So this thing's older than I am. But if you can read that, it is not clear for me, but 1958 is, and Ottawa, Something and Sons Limited. So 1958 is when this was built, and every one of these wound bandage has exactly the same date on it. So you've got September 1958, made in Canada. So it's the regular military shell dressing. Okay, so if I were to start unpacking, and as I say, there's 15, and on we go, and then we carry on to the bottom of the bag. On this side we've got 5 more, and I've got 4 more here, and so I need to remove some on this side here so that I can show you the other piece. So we've got this, and it's there's a dozen of these, and you can feel they're about this 4-inch. They're referred to 4-inch, 6 yards, and there's a dozen of them in here. So civil defense, and yeah, so there are these rolls of the gauze bandages, and then yeah, so that's just on the back side, all taped, all sealed. Everything's like opening a time capsule here. And then inside we've also got 3 of these. And again, this is Royal Canadian Army Medical Corps, Canada. So you've got your 2 triangular bandages, 2 safety pins in each, and it's all as issued in 1958. Very, very nice. And also inside, in its box, and this predates any sort of necessary English, French. I mean, this is all in English. The instructions, everything. So if there were a French version, then I guess that would be available for those that need that. And so inside here, then we have, and it's very interesting because it's still wrapped in like a wax paper. And there's a lanyard and this nice heavy set of scissors that come with that. So the lanyard's ready to strap on, and you have that. And then you've got, as I say, there's down in the bottom, there's still 5 more of these. There's little pockets on the side to place other miscellaneous items. So you've got that. You've got these flaps that would go over to seal the ends. And then you've got on this side, there's 3 things down in this one large pouch. And so I've got, this is a grease pencil. So that's kind of how that works. And so it's a red pen that should be able to write on many things, because it's not lead, it's not ink, it's like more of a grease pencil. So you've got then also, quite cool, is the regular pencil, and these are sharp and ready to go. So this one here, Government of Canada. And then finally, this ointment. So this would be treatment for your eyes. So it's eye ointment. And it's not all dried out. I mean, if I were to squeeze that tube or open this up, we'd get something out of there, whether it's still effective or not. But this is the complete kit. So every single thing that is on this list. So I didn't want to show you the list right away. I wanted to reveal these items as they came out of the bag, but this is the list. And so there is, I have seen a French-English version as well, but that's the civil defense kit. There's the phone ringing. I'm pretty much ready to wrap up, but that's that one, older style armband. So, anywho's, thanks for watching.